I think it's a really good question, whoever came up with that one, because of course the interesting thing for us with the workshops that we lead, I mean, Cesare's already hinted at this in terms of people come for different reasons, which of course means from the perspective of people's experience of running, we're dealing with, we have a workshop that allows us to cater for and invite people who are at any stage on that journey. So that's that's one of the things that we've worked quite hard to make sure we can accommodate. I mean, I'm sure a number of the people who are involved with MyZenRun will know the experience of having not been a runner, started running, and when they got to that point when it became something that was became a kind of a regular habit. I mean, it's often said, I think, with the kinds of sports like running, we need to do it repeatedly for a certain period of time, and there's kind of some kind of golden period after which it becomes a habit and we don't fall back from it, if you like. So I think one of the advantages actually of learning a mindfulness-based approach to running, if you're also not quite at that point where you've really settled on, almost you're not at that point where you call yourself a runner, it's not sort of a regular part of your activity. I think it just brings this added dimension, because you're bringing a whole other kind of level of experience to running, and you're not just dealing with the physicality of it, if you like, and working with the limitations of the body that often we need to build our capacity to be able to run. So actually, I think when we bring that stronger mindfulness-based dimension to it as well, I think it's a really helpful way for people who are trying to get themselves established in running. It's an added benefit, I would say.
Mm. Yeah, I agree and echo that. And we have run some workshops that were aimed at beginning runners or people that wanted to even start running because they hadn't created the habit. And a lot of that is around what I spoke about before, like noticing those self-defeating habits and those inner critics and all of that comes up, and learning how to deal with them more skillfully, not give them the time, the attention and the energy that we would do more unconsciously and mindfully. But also teaching running form and posture and the RUN-ZEN foundation. So from a physical point of view, combined with being present and aware of applying the posture and the foundation, it's a great way to start, because you're not creating bad habits from the beginning. You're creating good habits, which can also help with injury prevention, etc. I won't say too much about that because I know that's another question.
Yeah, and just to come at it from a slightly different angle, maybe just to use a word that was absent from my explanation, is I think what it supports us with is motivation. So if you were somebody who is a regular runner, so let's say you're used to running 2, 3, 4 times a week, whatever's normal for you, you've got the habit there, and it's almost the fact that then with a mindfulness-based practice, you're choosing that when you go out for those runs, you can also now work with a mindfulness-based practice as part of that experience. That is completely different to I don't really want to go out the door because I don't really fancy running, because I'm not at that point yet. I feel that what we've learned through our experience, the number of people we've managed to engage on our courses, is it does help people clarify motivation and intention and things like that. So yeah, it absolutely has that added benefit, and we will be touching on that. I think we're fine-tuning the detail of next week's workshop, but we'll be touching a little bit on motivation as part of that. If, of course, you do have people participating in MyZenRun who are also on that journey of establishing themselves as a runner.